What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of DevTalks with your host, Travian, where we talk about everything engineering and technology-wise. And I just want to say thank you for all the support that we have on the recent videos, and I really appreciate all the subscriptions and stuff. This week, or this episode, I should say, we have a video about Google launched a new AI tool to help out podcasts. Now, I don't know what this tool is yet, so my first time looking at it, and since this is kind of like a podcast, and I started it off as a podcast, maybe this could be something that I could potentially use. So why don't we just dive into it together this week and figure out what is going on. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps so much. I really appreciate all of that. I try to get to all the comments down below. And let me know if you use this tool too when we figure it out. But without further ado, let's dive in.
There's a new hit podcast taking X and the tech world by storm. It's called Google Deep Dive. It's taking on everything from the latest in science to classical literature. The only catch, the hosts aren't real, and the producer is you. This is all part of Google's new NotebookML project. And Deirdre Bosa has more in today's Tech Check. Hi, Dee.
Morgan, I hope you're intrigued because instead of telling you about this new tool, I'm going to show it to you. Now, earlier in the show, I heard that you guys were talking about that JP Morgan iPhone survey. Here's another version of that in podcast form with two AI-generated podcasters. Have a listen.
Get this, we're diving deep into iPhone territory today, but not just any iPhone chit-chat.
Right.
We're talking about why people are really shelling out for those new Apple phones. Luckily, we've got some clues to work with. We've got this juicy JP Morgan survey.
Yeah.
Over 500 people gave their insights on smartphones and buying decisions.
That's a pretty good sample size, actually.
Yeah, it gives us a good snapshot of what's really going on.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this blew my mind. This is all...
Okay. There's some stuff to I wasn't expecting that. What I was expecting from this was more of a something to help you get content or create podcasts in a sense. I came here with a clear mind, but now I have a question and see is one day this is going to become something where it's going to be on video too. This looks like it's just something that's going to be audio only for a while until they can figure out how to generate the people to react to stuff and have a conversation and be completely AI, which is kind of insane if you ask me. It would be funny if they try to ask you for pictures of yourself so it can generate like you and whatever guests into your shows. And this is the part where AI can really go too far because how authentic is it if it's not real? Who's going to be sitting here listening to an AI podcast? Mind you, I would say in that little sample that they gave us, it was pretty good. For voice only, that AI piece did a very good job to really distinguish the conversation, talk about it some, have some little bit of interesting cues back and forth. Is it perfect? Probably not yet, but I see a lot of growth potentially in this product that can come to it. But let's just listen so we can find out more real quick, because there's no way that could be the end of it, right?
All AI generated, and it sounds pretty close to how someone might expect Carl and I or Carl and Morgan to sound on a podcast breaking down that JP Morgan survey, right down to the uh-huhs and the banter. It's worth the full 10-minute listen, which we'll post. Now, analysts notes one useful example for our audience, but NotebookML is billed more broadly as a personal AI research assistant. Students are using it to make their textbooks into more engaging podcasts. Lawyers can upload legal briefs, scientists with lab notes and research papers. This is powered by Google's most advanced AI model, Gemini 1.5 Pro. And judging by the reactions to it, including my own and the Tech Check teams and the broader tech community on X, this could be the next killer app in generative AI. Now, the next big thing in Gen AI has been multimodal capability, or the ability to process and understand multiple types of input and output, like text, images, video, audio, even sensory data. Audio in particular, guys, is proving a competitive battleground with Meta's celebrity voice chat bots, OpenAI's advanced voice mode that was outlined at Developer Day earlier this week, and Apple and Amazon's promises for better voice assistants, Siri and Alexa. Google, though, may just have the viral moment here with this NotebookML multimodal capability plus a killer use case. Now, its product lead posted this meme saying, "Our TPUs right now" on X just a few days ago, suggesting that all of this attention has strained Google's AI chip infrastructure. And Keep in mind, guys, that this is still in labs, aka Google's beta or experimental mode, as Google tends to do. As we know, though, the space and technology, it moves incredibly fast. OpenAI's billions in new capital. That will make sure that it stays that way, and they'll have a competitor. And you might just think, finally, that this is podcasts and maybe gimmicky, but that's like saying ChatGPT was just a chatbot. Some of the biggest platform shifts are driven by consumer adoption and sets the stage for enterprises to pick up. And this podcast, a good example of what Gen AI can do.
And that is insane, first off. Like, 10 minutes, it was able to generate a topic and create a 10-minute convo between two people. I have a lot of questions. I want to be able to use this in a sense and try to figure out more just to see its capabilities. But right now, it seems like it's going through a lot of strain with everybody trying to use NotebookLM and whatnot. So it might be tricky since it is in beta still. Like, not that many people could do that. It's pretty strenuous, they said. But to already be at a point where you can generate 10 minutes of clear conversation audio is really insane. Like, they can really change the games of entertainment a long ways. And this comes into the play of, hey, are a lot of things that people want to be, especially in the US right now, are content creators. How is this going to impact their jobs? Like, this is all people who, everything where we talk about how AI and all this stuff is going to take all our jobs, this and that third, and us being scared and worried about it and going on from there, and just like all the problems that could potentially arise from like AI existing in today's day. But one of the notes that she said that's good is like, how can we use this notebook ML to benefit our learning and use it for working more efficiently. Like, if you're going through court documents and stuff or whatever, law textbooks or things that she was talking about, you have school textbooks, all of that. How can I make this more engaging? How can you tell me the information that I need to hear? One thing that's gonna probably suck with that, even if you say that, yeah, you'll get a grasp of what it's about. You might not get every single detail that you need. There's probably, especially when it comes to law work, there's probably a line somewhere that won't get done, and if you just miss that, it can bite you in the butt. There are chances where something like this can bite you in the butt because you may be missing some crucial information if you're using this as a tool. It really depends on the capabilities of where it's at, and as time goes on, we can begin to trust these products more and more and more, and it will just keep growing from there. Just saying, it's gonna keep growing from there at that point. But that is insane that it can just bring up 10 minutes. And they're gonna link it somewhere. That little 5 seconds that we got sounded wonderful. It really sounded wonderful on having a conversation aspect. And what's next with this is how they're gonna integrate people, images. Like, when they add images to this, it's gonna be a wrap. It's definitely will be hard to know what is real, what is fake, all of that kind of stuff that's gonna be out on the internet. You can make podcasts about anybody. You can have anybody as your guest potentially, and these are some of the risks that goes on to it. Like, imagine you could just say you got whatever celebrity on your podcast, and it's not even them. All you needed to do was get a copy of their voice to talk on the other end, and then you can make it seem like you guys are having a conversation. Like, it's risky. It's definitely going to be risky to entertainment business and all those people who want to create content if stuff is not used the right way. But that goes for everything, though. Nothing is going to be perfectly used. And let's just finish out this video so we can see if there's any more information about this tool.
I have so many questions. I have so many.
Yay.
And I will definitely listen to the full thing here. As a podcaster myself, I'm really curious how this is going to shake out. But the voices themselves, I just want to go back to that because there's already been this sort of sticky issue of, who owns the voices, yes, where the voices are coming from. We know FTC is looking at stuff like this right now. I just wonder how that's factoring in here.
Right, so you can sort of generate or build totally unique voices, but if you want, say, a John Cena or Judi Dench, like Meta does, you license it, right? And so this whole licensing issue is becoming so interesting in generative AI. In this case, for NotebookLM, you actually upload the documents yourself. You can upload text from a web page. You can't go past paywalls, but you can upload up to, I believe, 50 different documents or audio pieces to give you something. So it also says that they don't share it, they don't use it to actually build further upon it. But it's tricky, Morgan. It does raise a lot of questions, and the industry is figuring that out now. How much do you license? Who do you license from? How much do you pay? That's all being negotiated in real time.
It does seem like every day.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the end of how that goes. So we got a little bit more context right there. What did they say? They basically are saying right here, these people, if you want your voices to be used in this specific program, get your voice licensed. They don't have too much information on what it's going to take besides licensing your voice and how much it can cost between licensing and all of that other information. So we don't really have too much information beyond this, besides that it just exists right now. And then you can create custom voices. I always find it weird with the creating a custom voice, because those voices are made up of real life people to an extent, and they get tuned and crafted in different ways to create a multitude of different voices to be able to speak properly and whatnot. But it's literally insane. Like, imagine it generating a voice and it sounds just like you, and you've never participated in any of that stuff. That stuff like that, I feel like happens. It's going to happen all the time, and they're like, that's okay because we generated this voice. We didn't take it from you, technically. So that's like a workaround for them. But also, 50 documents. It's a lot right now, but it's not going to get you through a total textbook thing. It might get you through some like chapters of information, but and $50 is a lot. Don't let me. I mean, 50 pages is a lot of documents, mind you. I'm not saying it's a little amount, but this is just the starting ground. This is the starting foundation of where this is going to be at. It's only going to grow. It's only going to grow from here. At 50, it's going to go to 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 to 1,000 pages that it will be able to upload and cipher through that kind of information. And these are how powerful these tools are going to get. How long would it take you to get through 50 pages of documents and cipher through it? Sit here and ask yourself that. I bet you these programs will do it a lot quicker than us. And this program will probably do a lot better job than certain people at deciphering what's going on in these documents and whatnot, and being able to talk about these documents and create some voice over part for it and have conversations on it. It probably does better than some people. Not gonna lie. I don't know who, because I just don't. That's not a thing, but I find that really insane at the point that we are now. And remember today, whenever this drops, I predicted now that Google's Gemini, their podcast tool, will come to video, and they'll be able to use people, and they're going to be able to license people's images in AI from that point too. And what's AI is going to become just one large licensing cluster thing where people are going to be licensed through a bunch of different platforms, and other people are going to be able to use their likeliness off of it. I mean, we're already doing that in sports. People are getting paid off of likeliness, entertainment, all of that. So this is just another way for them to do so at this point. But without further ado, hope you guys like this episode of DevTalks. If you do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. See you guys in the next one. If you want to see more, click the video linked up here. Peace.